Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Reeti and I am back with another lecture in the DBMS series. So in the last lecture we learned about ACID properties in DBMS. In this particular video we would be learning about isolation level and its types. So without any further ado, let's get started. Now before starting with isolation level, let's just understand about isolation. So isolation says that if there are two transactions T1 and T2 which is running parallelly or concurrently, you can say, then these transactions should be isolated of each other. That is, if there are any operations which is happening in T1 should be isolated of operations which is happening in T2. Now this is what isolation is. Now what is this isolation level? So isolation level is the extent to which these operations are isolated of each other. Now whenever there is a read or write operation happening in T1, how much it is isolated with read and write operation happening in T2. So that is what isolation level is. It is the extent to which the isolation in the operations happens. Now why do we need to learn about isolation level? So in systems where multiple transactions are executed concurrently you can say parallelly, like there are threads on which the transactions are getting executed. So isolation levels manage the extent to which the operation of one transaction are isolated from those of other transaction. So the extent to which operation of one transaction are isolated to those of other transaction, that is isolation level. And we need isolation level because in systems there are sometimes multiple transaction which happens. So we need to know the extent to which, if there are multiple transaction happening, what is the extent to which their operations are isolated of each other. Now isolation level help us to prevent common transactional anomalies. So there are some anomalies which happens while transaction, and isolation level help us to prevent them. Now what are these anomalies? So the first anomaly is dirty read. Now dirty read happens whenever we are reading uncommitted data from another transaction. So consider that there are two transactions T1 and T2, and as part of T1 I am writing some data in A, but as part of T2 I am reading some data of A. So as I have written some data into A, this particular data is updated in my internal memory. So if the value of A was 10, I have updated the A value to A plus 10. So now A value would be 20. And if I am reading A, then I'll be reading 20, not 10, because it is updated in the internal memory. It's not updated in the database yet because we haven't committed this transaction, but it's updated in the transaction logs, or you can say internal memory. And what if this transaction fails at some point? So if the transaction fails, we do a rollback and then A value would be updated back to 10, but here I have read the value of A to 20, so this becomes irrelevant. So that is why dirty read happens whenever we are reading any uncommitted data from another transaction. Now what is this non-repeatable read? So non-repeatable read happens whenever data changes after it has been read within the same transaction. So consider that as part of T1 I am reading some data, as part of T2 I am updating that particular data, and as part of T1 again I am reading the same data. So here if the value of A was 10, if I updated the value of A to 20, here if I again read the value of A, it will come as 20. So during the read operation I can see that first read operation gave me 10, but second read operation gave me 20. So the data changes happened, and after it has been read within the same transaction. So within the same transaction, if there are two read operations which are happening, and if in the next transaction there is any write operation which has happened, the values would be changed. Now coming to phantom read. So phantom read says that new rows are added or removed by another transaction after a query has been executed. Now consider that there is an employee table. In that particular employee table right now there are two records of employee E1 and E2. Now consider if I am doing a get query here. Right now I am getting two records, but consider if a new employee enters this particular organization. So I'll add that particular employee details as well in my table. Now again if I do a get on this particular table, it will give me 3 records. So you can see that the records has been changed. Again consider that if E2 decides to leave the organization, so we'll delete E2's entry from our DB or from our table. Then again if we do a get, then we'll again get 2 records. So you can see that whenever there is some insertion or deletion happens, the get or the fetching of values or finding of values gives us different set of records. So new rows are added or removed by another transaction after a query is executed. It causes the phantom read. Whenever we are reading any uncommitted data, another transaction, dirty read happens, and whenever there is some data changes which happened in the same transaction, that is called as non-repeatable read. So these are some of the anomalies which are taken care as part of isolation levels. Now consider that if there are two transactions which is happening read as well as write operation, so there could be four possible combinations where if transaction 1 is executed and transaction 2 is executing, what are the operations they would be persisting. So the first one is transaction 1 can read value, transaction 2 at the same time can read value. Now coming to the next possible combination, transaction 1 can read value, transaction 2 can write the value as well. Now coming to the third combination where transaction 1 can write the value and transaction 1 would be reading the value. Coming to the fourth one where transaction 1 is also writing the value and transaction 2 is also writing the value. Since transaction 1 has read and write operations and transaction 2 also had read and write operations, we kept 1 as constant and then we switched between the different operations which were present here. Again we kept write as constant and then we switched between the different operations which is present here. So these set of operations can happen while two transaction is happening. So what is isolation level? It determines the degree to which the operations in one transaction are isolated from other transaction. So if there are two transactions T1 and T2 and if there are some set of operations which is happening between these two transactions, what is the extent to which these operations are isolated of each other. Now here we can see that there is a diagram on how a transaction happens. So consider that if there is an application, as part of application there could be multiple transactions. So there is two transactions T1 and T2. Now T1 can also have some operations and T2 can also have some operations. So what we do whenever we perform any operation in any of the transaction, we go ahead and save it in our transaction logs. We don't go ahead and save it in the database directly, because if there are multiple transactions happening, there could be a possibility that there is some failure which is encountered and some of the transaction fails. Because of that, we don't go ahead and directly update in the DB. We go ahead and save it in the transaction logs, or you can say in the internal memory. And once the transaction is committed, we can say now it is ready to get saved in the database. We delete the transaction logs and we go ahead and save that particular into our DB. So this is how a transaction takes place. Now let's learn about anomalies in more depth. So the first anomaly is dirty read. So reading the data returned by a transaction that has not yet been committed. So let's understand from an example. Consider we are doing some changes into this A, and right now the value of A is 10. As transaction T1 we are updating the value of A to 20. Updating A to 20, and as part of T2 we are just reading the current value of A. So right now the value of A is 10. We updated the value of A to 20 as part of T1 as there is a write operation, and as part of T2 we are reading the value of A. Right now the A value from 10 it is updated to 20, so we will be reading 20. But consider that at some point this transaction fails. T1 fails. So whenever a transaction fails, there is a rollback which says that revert it back to its original state. So we have to revert back all the operation and we have to again go ahead and revert the value of A which we updated to 20 to 10. Now the value of A is updated to 10, but as part of T2 we have read the value of A, and right now we know that the value of A is 20, but here the value of A is 10 as this particular transaction at some point failed. So you can see that this particular data or this particular read operation which we have performed is irrelevant, because now this particular data is irrelevant because in our database the value of A is 10. So whenever there is a transaction T2 which reads the data which is returned by transaction T1, and if T1 fails, it becomes irrelevant, because right now when we are doing a read operation from T2, it is reading the incorrect or data which is not present. So you can say a stale data. So it's reading a stale data and it is performing all its operation on the stale data. So whenever there is a write read happening, we call it as dirty read. Now let's learn about the next anomaly, that is non-repeatable read. So it says that reading the same row twice within the transaction and getting different values because another transaction modified the row and committed. Consider again we are doing some read write operations on A. So as part of T2, what we are doing is we are updating the value of A again to 20. And as part of T1, we are reading the value of A and doing some operations. You can say reading the value plus doing some external operations that we are not sure right now. Doing operations. So what happened? As part of T1 we read the value of A, so that is 10. As part of T2 we read the value of A, again it is 10. We write the value of A, so now A is updated to 20, so it will be 20, and then we commit the changes, that is this 20 is now saved into our database. Until this point it was saved into our transaction logs, or you can say internal memory, but whenever we encounter this commit, it is saved into our database. So right now the value of A is 20. So consider that because of some issue the T1 transaction stopped and it again began, and now again it is starting reading the value of A. Now here if it do a read of A, it will give me 20 as the 20 is updated in our database. But here if we read the value of A, it was 10, and on this 10 we were about to perform some operations, but right now we need to perform the operations on 20. So you can see that if there are multiple read which is happening in same transaction, and if another transaction commits some value or writes some value, then there is a non-repeatable read which happens. So consider if T2 modifies the data which T1 is already reading, and if T1 continues the transaction, the data will be changed. So here the data was 10 and here the data was 20. T1 stopped in between for some unknown reasons, and if T1 again started, it will read some changed data. So here the value was 10, but here the value has been updated to 20 because another transaction read the same data and committed on the same data. So whenever we are having some multiple reads in one transaction, and because of another transaction the multiple reads are giving different values, that is called as non-repeatable read. Now coming to the third anomaly, that is phantom read. So getting different set of rows in subsequent queries within the same transaction because another transaction inserted deleted rows and committed the data. So the same example, consider that there is an employee table. Right now we have 2 employees present in our table. First what I am doing, I am fetching the name of the employees. So right now I'll get only 2 values for the name of employees. Now consider that there is another transaction T2 as part of which we are inserting some data into our DB, or we are inserting new employee details E3 who has recently joined the company. So we have inserted the value of E3. Now names will be giving me 3 values. So again if I fetch the name, it will give me 3 records, and here it was giving me 2 records. So you can see that here I was getting 2 records, but here I was getting 3 records because another transaction came and inserted a new set of data here. Again there could be a deletion as well. Consider that if E2 left the organization. So as part of T2 I can go ahead and delete the entry of employee 2 as well, and again if I fetch the names, I'll get the only 2 values. So you can see that there is some discrepancies in the records which we are getting while fetching because some other transaction came and inserted or deleted some of the records from our table. So this is the phantom read. Now we learnt about isolation level, we learnt about anomalies, but let's learn about types of isolation level. So there are 4 types of isolation level which help us with these anomalies. So the first one is read uncommitted, the second is read committed, the third is repeatable read, and the 4th is serializable. So let's learn about each and every one of them. So let's learn about the first isolation level, that is read uncommitted. So it is the lowest isolation level where transaction can see uncommitted changes made by another transactions. So if a transaction can see uncommitted changes made by another transaction, that is read uncommitted isolation level. So as you can see from the word also, it says that read uncommitted. So one transaction can read uncommitted changes. If a transaction T1 is writing a value to a table, T2 can go ahead and read that particular value before T1 commits. So if there are 2 transactions T1 and T2, if T1 is writing some value to a particular table, T2 can go ahead and read that particular value even if T1 is not committed. That is why it is called as lowest isolation level. So here you can see that there is a write read problem which is happening, because of which it doesn't takes care of dirty reads. The dirty reads is still there in this particular isolation level. Non-repeatable reads is also present here because again I can go ahead and read that particular value after some point in T2 and it will give me another data. Phantom read is also here because as part of this transaction we are not waiting for this transaction to commit, so we can go ahead and as part of T2 we can insert some data or delete some data from a particular table. Now coming to the next level, that is read committed. So it says read the value only when it is committed. So it ensures that any data is read during the transaction is committed at the moment it's read. So if there are 2 transactions T1 and T2, and if as part of T1 I am writing some value to A and as part of T2 I am reading some value of A, I can only perform this read operation whenever this particular transaction is committed and the data is saved into our database. So if T1 has done some write operation, T2 can only read read the data when T1 has committed. So here you can see that after the commit I am reading the data, so there is no chances of T1 getting failed. So this read write problem is taken care here. So there is no dirty read which happens here. Now coming to non-repeatable reads. Non-repeatable reads can happen because consider here I am reading a data and again in this transaction T1 I am writing something and again I am reading the data. So here and here the data would be different. So non-repeatable reads can happen. Now coming to phantom reads. Phantom reads can also happen because what if transaction T2 comes and inserts some new record into the table. So that is why phantom read will always happen and non-repeatable read can also happen. Now coming to the third, that is repeatable read. So it ensures that if one transaction reads a row, it will see the same values for that particular row during the entire transaction. Even if other transaction modifies the data and commit, if transaction T1 reads the value, transaction T2 cannot go ahead and modify the value until T1 completes. So how this read and read problem was happening? Consider as part of T1 and T2. T1 I was reading some value, as part of T2 I was writing some value, but because of some issues T1 stopped and after some time again it started. So if I read the value here and if I read the value here, they were different. But according to repeatable read, if a transaction reads a row, it will see the same value of row during the entire transaction, even if other transaction modifies the data and commits. So even if T2 commits the data or modifies the data, T1 will always read the same data which it read during the start of the transaction. So because of this, dirty read is stopped. Non-repeatable read will also not happen because it says that if there is any modification done as part of other transaction, that should wait until transaction T1 is complete. But it says that T2 can go ahead and insert some new rows. So because of this, phantom read is still existing here, but dirty reads and non-repeatable read is taken care. Now coming to the next transaction level, that is serializable. So it ensures that there is a serial transaction execution so that there is a complete isolation. So whenever there is a serial transaction execution, that is if there are two transactions T1 and T2, T2 should wait for T1 to complete. So if transaction T1 is executing, T2 must wait until T1 is complete. So if transaction T2 is waiting for T1 to get completed, it can't go ahead and insert any new row because T1 is still in progress. It can't go ahead and read some particular value or make modification to that particular value because again T1 is in progress, and it can't go ahead and read some particular value because again T1 is in progress. So there won't be any dirty reads because there is no read-write anomalies or write-read anomalies because T1 needs to be completed before T2 gets started. There is no non-repeatable read because again T2 has to wait for T1 to complete and then only it can perform any read operation. Now coming to phantom read, that will also not happen because T2 can't go ahead and insert any new row until T1 is completed. So T1 should be completed for T2 to start. So there should be completion of T1 before T2. So that is why serializable has the most extent of isolation. So this was all about isolation level in this particular video. I hope you like this video. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're someone who is new to my channel, can go ahead and watch out the tech content first. And if you find it useful, can go ahead and subscribe. Also, if you have not followed me on my social media handles, you can go ahead and follow. The links are in the description. Till then, take care, keep learning, keep growing, keep smiling. Bye all.